Hi, this is Trepacer. This is going to be my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 9, entitled Closure. Let's just get to the main point. It basically starts with Coulson and Rosalind having burgers, apparently at her place, which I think it's her place, and they're discussing, how Malik basically was using her to steal Inhumans, and basically she says, listen, she's going to go back in. She has a meeting scheduled with Malik, and she's going to, figure out what's going on. But Coulson doesn't really want her to go, and she kind of calls him did she call him Lancelot? That's what she calls him. She called him Lancelot. Thank you, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And then all of a sudden you hear a gunshot, and then I knew from the camera shot, you see the bullet hole, and I knew Rosalind was shot. And sure enough, she got shot in the neck by our favorite ex-agent, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Ward, of course, and she bleeds out basically, and Coulson begs her not to die, but she dies, which is kind of a shame because I liked her character, and the actress was really good as Rosalind. So I'm kind of sad that they, kind of killed her off. I guess just to, give extra motivation, as if Coulson didn't have enough motivation to want to kill Ward before. Now he really has motivation to want to kill Ward. So basically, after getting a call from Ward, basically gloating about what he did, he sends in a couple of goons, and Coulson, dispatches them and calls Matt, hits the button to, for emergency extraction, of course. And then, of course, Matt shows up in her armored SUV, and off they go. Okay, now, then they show Ward going back to Malik, and Malik is saying, "Listen, Ward, why are you still interested in this petty revenge game against S.H.I.E.L.D.? We're on to a higher purpose of bringing back that thing from the other side. He's all about that." And him and Ward banter back and forth. Anyway, Coulson comes back, and he basically grills the remaining members of S.H.I.E.L.D. there to try to get any insight into Ward and the way he thinks. And various people, Fitzsimmons and Sky, or Daisy, excuse me, and Agent May basically have conversations with Coulson just to try to to tell him what they thought of him. And I think Sky is the only one that really came up with the most insight, saying that Ward was damaged as a little kid, and he was always seeking approval and stuff, and how she related to that. Okay, and basically, so he knew from that, or he gathered from that, that Ward is vulnerable to family, and technically he only has one family member left because he killed the other, killed everyone else. Okay, and this current family member is in hiding, and more on that later. Anyway, basically, Coulson says, "Listen, I'm gonna." He actually goes up to Hunter and basically grabs Hunter by the throat and said, "Listen, if you would have missed, before, all this could have been. Rosalind would still be alive." And of course, Bobby's telling him, "Calm down, Coulson. It's not his fault. Calm down." And then he said, "Yeah, you're right. It is. It's my fault because I picked him for the team." And then he said, "You know what? I need you this time. Don't miss." And he said, "Oh, because I think, excuse me." Hunter says, "I'd like another shot." He said, "Yeah, this time don't miss." And Bobby goes, "Wait a minute. Why are you going to say, I don't think that's a good idea." She said, "You know what? I need you too. I need a pilot." And so, and in the meantime, he gives Mac all his protocols and said, "Listen, what I'm going to have to do is going to be off the book. So I need a new acting director, and you're it. You're the only one I trust that doesn't have a personal grudge against Ward." So he gives Mac the responsibility, and he says, first he kind of begs off for it, said, "Listen, why don't you give it to May?" He said, "No, May, after the thing with Andrew, she's not the most reliable. So I need you to do what you got to do. Okay, I need you to do this while I do what I got to do." Okay. Anyway, Fitz and Simmons, and this time they go investigating the distant star, which happened in the last episode. That's how they discovered, the program that sent not Andrew, what's the guy's name that helped Fitz Simmons when he was over there. I forgot his name. Will. I'm sorry, Will. That's the guy's name. Yeah. They discovered that distant star is the plan. Is the program that funded him to send them over there. And of course, Malik was involved in it. So they send Fitz and Simmons with a couple of agents and Rosalind's number 2 guy to try to investigate and see what's over there. Of course, what do you guess? They get captured, okay? And Rosalind's number 2 guy gets iced, so that's the end of him. And of course, there's various red shirts, they get killed as well. Okay, and only because they only really want, and Ward's there, of course, and he's reloading, and so of course, all we wanted is Fitz and Simmons because they need to know how Fitz got Simmons back, and that's what they need because they're gonna go over there and bring that thing back to this side, but they need to know how he got back. So basically, they're gonna torture them to get the information. And in the meantime, Hunter, Coulson, and Bobby are on a mission, and they kind of, they're discussing it, and then they basically break into a jewelry store, and they actually attack a guy and kidnap, knock him out. But before the guy passes out, he goes, "Did my brother send you?" And then, of course, we know this is Ward's little brother. Okay, the only family member he has left, the only one he didn't kill because he was sent into hiding to keep him away from Agent Ward. Okay, so they have him on the ship, and they basically said, "Listen, we only know that Ward's only cares about this person, So he basically gets on the phone and calls him and said, "Listen, we got," he shows him, said, "Listen, we have something, we have something that you want, something you value." And of course, that makes Ward snap to attention, and of course, he threatens Coulson, and then Coulson hangs up on him, and then they basically talk to Ward's brother, and he says, "Listen," he basically tells him what really happened and how Ward really snapped and really did hurt him. That story he told back in season 1 about how his brother pushed him to push his brother down the well, when actually he was the one that pushed his brother down the well, and then he snapped and been cuckoo ever since. Okay, and so basically he said, "Let me get on the phone. I can talk to him, and I can keep him on the line long enough for you to trace him." And of course he does, and they trace him. They know where he is, and they're basically going to go in. And of course, at the same time, Mac knows. Listen, we know where they are. But he's having a hard time deciding whether to go in. Of course, Daisy, I keep saying Sky, but Daisy wants to go in to rescue Fitz and Simmons, but Mac is undecided about it, and he's torn about he said that Hydra facility is heavy fortified. We don't have enough manpower and stuff to go in there, and he's thinking about it. And then he asks May to come in and basically ask for her opinion, and he tell her, "Listen, you know what to do," and then he decides, you know what. And what his plan is, he gets Daisy, what's the guy's name? With electricity, I can't remember his name now, and the other guy that could bend metal that Andrew was counseling. Those 3 guys. I've got the other guy that human that they rescued, the electricity. I forgot his name. I can't remember the character's name, but him, the guy that could bend metal that Andrew was counseling, and Daisy. They're gonna go in because they have powers. He chooses them because they have powers, and he basically gives them a pep talk. "Listen, we're severely outgunned, but we're going to do this thing." And then of course May said, "Thank you. That's nice pep talk." Okay. In the meantime, while Fitz and Simmons are being separated and basically asked to tell them, of course Simmons doesn't want to tell them, and then of course they send the psychic guy that would move things with his mind. To basically, he pulls up a hammer and pliers, and of course Ward goes to see Fitz and tell him, "Listen, you could stop this right now. Could you hear Simmons screaming? You just tell us, how to get back." And then of course we find out later he makes a deal. As long as they leave Gemma alone, he'll go with them and show them how to get there and get back. Okay, and at first, Ward, Malik says, "Listen, I need you to lead this mission." And Ward doesn't want no part of it. He said, "S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming. I want to get ready for them. I want to get coffee." He said, "Listen," Malik says, "Listen, I want you, I thought you're the only person that can lead. Okay, I want you, to enjoy. This is what Hydra's been working for years. I need you to celebrate this." And Ward reluctantly, well, not reluctantly, he gets basically talked into it because, like I said, he's a lapdog, always looking for approval from higher up. So he agrees to lead the mission, and they go over to the other side. And at the same time, you have Coulson and May and Coulson, Hunter, and Bobby in the plane above head, and they look down and they see that they open up the portal and that people are jumping in. And then of course Coulson, he jumps in, and before Hunter or Bobby can stop him, they're getting fired at by S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hydra, so they have to bugger out of there. But just before the portal closes, Coulson dives in. Okay, and that's how it ends. Actually, no, that's not how it ends. He comes back from commercial, and you see that they're on the other side, and then you see Coulson come through after after they saw Ward and Fitz and the other soldiers, wander off a little bit, and you see Coulson come rolling through, and then of course he hits his head and knocks himself out. Okay, and that's how it ends. And this is part one of the season finale, the mid-season finale, because next week will be the second part. And now we know we have Coulson, and you have Ward and Fitz and the various red shirts. I'm assuming going to get killed on this distant planet. Okay, of course, and you have May, and I don't know if Mac went with them. I know he gave him this pep speech, but maybe it's going to be Mac. It's going to be at least Daisy, I think, leading the team, and Leakin. That's I can remember his name. Leakin. That's the guy with electricity, and the other guy that could bend metal that Andrew was counseling before. They're going because they have powers, and they figure with their powers they can help them, infiltrate Hydra's base and overwhelm them. So that's what. So this was a good episode. A lot of things happen, especially the war. I always love when the war gets on there and acts psycho. That was good. And Coulson in the beginning was good, nice. After Rosalind unfortunately kicked the bucket, he was bad, total badass. And I like him putting Mac in charge. Mac, that was good, a good move, putting Mac in charge. And Mac was decisive. Unsure at first, but then he got decisive. So that was a good episode. So I'm gonna give this overall. This was a good episode actually. So I'm gonna give it a 7.8. Give it a 7.8. I thought it was good. Lots of moving pieces, and like I said, next episode 10 will be the mid-season finale, and hopefully Ward will catch a bullet, but probably not. More likely not. They won't kill Ward off this early. I think Ward may die this season, but I think, which I hope he does. You can only stretch that out. I think that thing out so much, so maybe Ward will catch a bullet, but it'll have to be towards the end of the season, I think. Anyway, let me know what you think of season 3, episode 9, called Closure. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care. Cheers.